Hi, this is me again, Clarice Payabos, currently taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. So, for today's video, I will be talking to you my answer to a certain article that I have read, which is The Flight from Conversation by Sher Turkle. So, without further ado, let's get started. What is the impact of communication on the global society? The impact of communication in the global society is that communication helps increase business opportunities, remove cultural barriers, and develop a global village. Both global city and communication have changed the environmental culture, political and economic elements of the world, allowing us to communicate other people around the world without a problem. How does globalization impact the way people communicate? The globalization affects the way people communicate in a way that we become accustomed to a new way of communicating, which is being alone together. Being alone together is a kind of communication in which people communicate without facing each other or communicating through social medias only. It has become our means of communication that it sometimes leads to a disadvantage, making us sacrifice conversation in a face-to-face or with eye contact. It also affects us in a way that we tend to communicate with the help of devices more and try to open up in social medias than our families and friends. It has become a problem because in today's generation, when we people try to talk facing each other, we tend to focus more on our devices than the people we are communicating to, creating a communication barrier with each other. How do cultural and global issues affect communication? Cultural and global issues affects communication by the means of its effectivity on the people itself. It may be affecting us individually or as a group. Therefore, this may spark into miscommunications or positive interactions. In cultural issues, we may use as an example our language barrier in our own country. Since there are many languages or dialect inside the Philippines that are unknown to some and accessible only to a particular types of people, either the natives or people who grew up on that place. Though these language barriers, we sometimes find it hard to interact, hard to come to an understand or hard to communicate overall. But amidst all these complicating things, it isn't that much of an issue since we Filipino people are very adaptable, not just to other people, but also to others' environment. Through these language barriers, we sometimes find it hard to interact, hard to come to an understanding, hard to communicate overall. But amidst of all these complicating things, it isn't that much of an issue since we Filipinos are very adaptable not just to other people but also to the new environment we are currently living in. Global issues are pretty vague and can only be considered as an issue that affects communication subjectively on the people, or it is considered a threat more than an issue, then it is no longer up to the mass population to decide. That would be all. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!